And then, unfortunately, the Biden administration came in and turned this incredible bipartisan victory for America into a colossal failure.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a hot topic that's been making waves. Senator Ted Cruz's accusations against the Biden administration over the handling of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. According to Cruz, the administration's actions on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline represent a significant foreign policy failure. Ted Cruz has been vocal, arguing the Biden administration fumbled big time by initially waiving sanctions on the pipeline from Russia to Germany. Cruz claims this move emboldened Putin and set the stage for Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022.
I think it is useful to pause for a moment and reflect on the successes we had as a nation concerning Russia and Nord Stream 2 and just how President Biden has given those away. In the summer and fall of 2019, I introduced in this committee bipartisan sanctions to stop the construction of Nord Stream 2, the natural gas pipeline from Russia to Germany. I did so along with Senator Shaheen. It was overwhelmingly bipartisan. Indeed, every Democrat on this committee supported it, and all but one Republican on this committee supported it. At the time, there was considerable Russian disinformation being pushed in Europe. The Russian disinformation said the pipeline is nearly complete. As they said later that year, the pipeline is 90% complete. You cannot stop it. The sanctions cannot work. The Russians pushed that relentlessly. We now know that disinformation was a lie. The Congress passed that bipartisan legislation into law. It was signed into law, if my memory serves me correctly, at 7 p.m. on a Thursday. At 6:45 p.m., 15 minutes before the president signed those bipartisan sanctions into law, the company building the pipeline announced they were immediately halting construction. So the Russian disinformation was exactly that. It was a lie, and the sanctions worked. From that moment, for the next year, the pipeline lay dormant and fallow, and there was no construction. The next year, in December of 2020, I introduced, along with Senator Shaheen, a second wave of bipartisan sanctions that passed into law, ratcheting up the punishment even more. And then, unfortunately, the Biden administration came in and turned this incredible bipartisan victory for America into a colossal failure. Why did Joe Biden decide to waive the bipartisan sanctions and give what is, in effect, a multi-billion-dollar gift to Vladimir Putin?
Senator, it won't surprise you to know that I disagree with your assessment across the board, but just to focus on the pipeline. I think we're also apparently not working from the same fact set, because under your chronology, miraculously, the construction of the pipeline had been not only halted, but could not have been very far along, and then somehow suddenly...
With respect, it was 90% complete in 2019 when the sanctions went into effect. So the statement you made earlier that it was 90% complete, there was nothing you can do, that was true a year ago, and the sanctions worked.
Well, it was 90% more than 90% complete based on the information we had when we came to office.
That was true a year ago when the sanctions were passed.
And what we saw and what we've seen is the companies finding workarounds, finding alternatives. As one company would drop out, another would drop in. The Russians were able to bring to bear.
Prior to the Biden team suggesting sanctions wouldn't be imposed, had they returned to building the pipeline?
We didn't suggest that sanctions wouldn't be imposed. I think
was the quote from Nicholas Burns not accurate?
Mr. Burns was not a member of the administration. There was no administration at that point. But beyond that, had the
so you
Germans,
say it's purely coincidence that it began on January 24th?
Had the Germans agreed
the secretary will suspend.
Yeah.
What's your take? Was this a foreign policy blunder or a strategic move gone wrong? That's a wrap on today's breakdown. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on the latest political developments, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments below. What do you think about the Nord Stream 2 pipeline issue? Let's discuss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.